Have you ever wondered who will truly be there for you as you step into your 60s and beyond? We often assume that family and lifelong friends will always be our strongest support system. But as time goes on, life shifts. People get busy, priorities change, and suddenly, the safety net you once relied on may not be as strong as you thought. One day you might realize that real stability doesn't just come from the people around you, but from the foundations you build for yourself. In this video, we're diving into 6 essential pillars that will provide you with real security and independence as you age. This isn't about pushing people away. It's about understanding where lasting support truly comes from. By strengthening these 6 pillars, you'll gain confidence and resilience, ensuring that no matter what life throws your way, you'll never feel unprepared or alone. Stay with us until the end, because these insights could completely change the way you think about support in your later years. Ready? Let's get started. The first pillar, your financial stability. The most reliable support system you'll ever have isn't a person, it's your financial independence. Money may not buy happiness, but it does buy security, freedom, and peace of mind. As you age, you realize that relying on family for financial support isn't a strategy, it's a gamble. Your children have their own lives, their own expenses, and their own families to care for. Even if they love you deeply, they may not always be in a position to help when you need it most. Take Richard, for example, a 72-year-old man who always believed his children would step in if he ever faced financial trouble. He had supported them through college, lent them money when they needed it, and was always there when they called. But when an unexpected medical crisis drained his savings, he turned to them for help, only to discover they were struggling with their own mortgages, bills, and financial burdens. It wasn't that they didn't care, it was that life is unpredictable. That's why financial stability is one of the strongest pillars of support you can build. This isn't about getting rich, it's about being prepared. It's about having an emergency fund, a steady source of income you can count on, and the financial wisdom to manage your money wisely. If you're in your 60s or beyond, ask yourself, do I have enough savings to handle unexpected costs? Is my retirement income secure? Have I minimized financial risks that could leave me vulnerable? If the answer is no, now is the time to take action. Learn to budget wisely, avoid unnecessary debt, and invest in things that provide long-term stability. Because at the end of the day, financial security is the one thing that will always be there for you, no matter what life brings your way. The second pillar, your physical health. There's one thing in life that no amount of money, love, or support from others can replace: your well-being. After 60, your body either empowers you or holds you back. You might have all the financial security in the world, but without good health, your independence starts to slip away. And while your family may love you, they can't eat nutritious meals for you, they can't keep your muscles strong, and they can't stop the aging process on your behalf. That responsibility is yours alone. Many people take their health for granted, assuming that when the time comes, someone will step in to take care of them. But life doesn't always work that way. Even the most caring family members have their own responsibilities, and they may not be able to provide the care you need. Depending on others for your well-being can leave you vulnerable. That's why taking charge of your health today is one of the most valuable gifts you can give yourself in the years ahead. Consider Carl, a 68-year-old man who once led an active lifestyle but gradually let it slip away after retirement. He always thought he had time to get back on track, but before he knew it, his energy faded, his mobility declined, and everyday tasks became difficult. His children visited when they could, but they had their own families to take care of. One day, Carl realized that if he wanted to keep living life on his terms, he had to make his health a priority. Not later, not someday, but right now. You don't have to become a fitness expert to see real change. Small daily choices add up. Move your body in ways that feel good. Choose foods that nourish rather than drain you. And don't ignore the warning signs: persistent aches, feeling weaker, or struggling with everyday movements. If something doesn't feel right, now is the time to take action. Every healthy decision you make today is an investment in your future self. At the end of the day, the strongest foundation of support isn't your children, your friends, or anyone else. It's your own strength, mobility, and vitality. The more you invest in your health now, the more freedom and independence you'll have later. If this message resonates with you, leave a number 2 in the comments below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. Hit the button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Let's keep moving forward together. The third pillar, your social circle. One of the biggest mistakes people make as they age is withdrawing from the world. It often happens gradually. Friends move away, loved ones pass on, and before you realize it, your social circle has shrunk more than you ever expected. The danger? Loneliness creeps in. And after 60, isolation isn't just an emotional burden. It's a real threat to your mental sharpness, overall health, and even longevity. You might assume your family will always be there to keep you company, but the reality is your children have their own families, careers, and responsibilities that keep them busy. They may love you deeply, but they can't be your sole source of companionship. That's why one of the most crucial pillars of support is your social network. The people who check in on you, make you laugh, and bring energy into your life. These relationships aren't just nice to have, they are essential. Take Margaret, for example. At 73, she relied on her 2 sons for companionship. They adored her, but as the years passed, their daily visits turned into weekly phone calls, and those calls became less frequent. Margaret found herself waiting for connections that didn't always come. Then she made a change. She reconnected with old friends, joined a community group, and picked up new hobbies that introduced her to fresh faces. Suddenly, her days were filled with conversation, laughter, and a renewed sense of purpose. She didn't have to wait for her family to make her feel connected. She built that connection herself. Friendships, community groups, even casual acquaintances offer something priceless, a sense of belonging. Whether it's a neighbor you chat with, a book club you join, or a local gym class, having relationships outside of your family strengthens your emotional well-being. The more you invest in these connections now, the more support you'll have in the years to come. So ask yourself, who in your life brings you joy right now? If no one immediately comes to mind, it's time to expand your circle. Because at the end of the day, a strong social network isn't just about having company. It's about surrounding yourself with people who uplift you, remind you of your worth, and make every stage of life richer. The fourth pillar, your sense of purpose. One of the most overlooked sources of strength in life isn't another person. It's your own sense of purpose. After 60, many people experience a shift. The roles that once defined them, parent, worker, caregiver, begin to fade. Children grow independent, careers come to an end, and daily life slows down. Without a clear direction, it's easy to feel invisible, unneeded, or even lost. No matter how much your family loves you, they can't give you a purpose. That's something you must create for yourself. Having a reason to wake up each morning, whether it's a passion, a project, or a goal, keeps your mind sharp, your emotions stable, and your life deeply fulfilling. It's what keeps you engaged with the world rather than watching it pass by. Take George, for example, a retired engineer at 70. At first, he was excited to finally have time to relax. But after a few months, rest turned into restlessness. Something felt missing. Life seemed empty. His children visited occasionally, but they had their own responsibilities. That's when he decided to take action. He began volunteering at a local school, teaching kids how to build things. Before long, he had a new reason to get up every morning, something that made him feel valued, useful, and connected. Purpose doesn't have to come from a job. It can be anything that makes you feel alive. Learning something new, mentoring others, gardening, painting, traveling, or even setting personal goals. It's about doing what brings you joy and keeps you mentally and emotionally engaged. If you've ever thought your best days were behind you, it's time to shift that mindset. Your purpose doesn't disappear with age, it evolves. And the more you invest in finding meaning in your everyday life, the less you'll need to rely on others for happiness. Because at the end of the day, the strongest support system you can have isn't someone holding your hand, it's the fire within you that pushes you forward. If you're still watching and finding value in these insights, drop a 4 in the comments to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Your support allows us to continue creating content that informs and inspires. Now let's move forward together. The fifth pillar. Your emotional resilience life has a way of testing you, no matter your age. And after 60, the challenges don't stop. They simply change. Friendships fade, loved ones pass away, health concerns arise, and sometimes life can feel lonelier than before. The truth is, no matter how much support you receive from others, your most reliable source of strength has always been within you. The ability to process emotions, adapt to change, and find peace even in difficult moments is what keeps you moving forward, especially when life doesn't go as planned. Many people expect their families to be their emotional anchors, believing that children, siblings, or relatives will always be there to comfort them. But the reality is, everyone has their own battles to fight. Even those who love you deeply may not always have the time, energy, or capacity to be the unwavering support system you need. That's why building emotional resilience is so important. It allows you to find the strength within yourself instead of constantly seeking it from others. Take Helen, for example, a 75-year-old woman who lost her husband after 40 years of marriage. At first, she leaned heavily on her children for emotional support, but over time she realized that while they cared deeply, they had their own families and responsibilities to manage. She knew she couldn't expect them to fill the emptiness she felt inside. Instead of letting grief consume her, she focused on strengthening herself emotionally. She joined a support group, started journaling, and practiced daily gratitude. And in time, she discovered something powerful. She didn't need others to heal her pain. She had the strength to heal herself. Emotional resilience isn't about suppressing feelings or pretending to be strong all the time. It's about acknowledging pain, processing it in a healthy way, and developing coping mechanisms that help you navigate life's ups and downs with grace. It's about finding outlets, whether through therapy, meditation, writing, or simple self-reflection, that bring you peace from within rather than relying on others to provide it for you. No matter what life throws your way, your ability to stand strong on your own will always be one of your greatest sources of support. And the more you nurture your emotional resilience, the less you'll feel dependent on others to make you feel whole. Because at the end of the day, the one person who will always be with you through every hardship and every victory is you. The sixth pillar, your ability to adapt. If there's one truth about life after 60, it's that nothing stays the same. People change, circumstances shift, and what once felt reliable may no longer be. But instead of holding on to the past, the key to thriving in this stage of life is your ability to adapt. Those who struggle with aging often resist change. They cling to what was instead of embracing what is. But those who learn to adapt, to remain open and welcome new possibilities, find joy and fulfillment no matter what life brings. Many believe that by a certain age, they are set in their ways. But that mindset can be dangerous. It can prevent you from exploring new opportunities, meeting new people, and discovering experiences that could enrich your life. Adapting isn't just about accepting change. It's about actively seeking ways to grow with it. Take Frank, a 78-year-old man who always relied on in-person friendships to stay connected. When many of his friends moved away or passed on, he felt lost. At first he thought, I guess this is just how things go when you get older. But then, instead of resigning himself to loneliness, he chose to adapt. He learned how to use video calls to stay in touch with family, joined an online history discussion group, and even made a few new friends in the process. Rather than letting change defeat him, he allowed himself to grow with it. People who thrive after 60 aren't necessarily the wealthiest or the ones with the biggest support systems. They are the ones who refuse to be stuck in their old ways, the ones who stay curious and find ways to adjust no matter what life throws their way. If one door closes, they look for another. If a relationship shifts, they seek new ways to connect. If something no longer works, they're willing to try something different. Your ability to adapt is one of the greatest pillars of support you'll ever have. It allows you to navigate life with resilience, optimism, and confidence. The more you embrace change instead of fearing it, the less you'll feel like you're losing something. And the more you'll realize that every stage of life offers something new to gain. A final thought. Entering your 60s and beyond is a phase of life that brings both wisdom and challenges. And while family will always hold a special place in your heart, the truth is that the most reliable source of support isn't other people. It's the foundation you build for yourself. Your financial stability ensures you never have to depend on others to get by. Your physical health determines whether you can maintain your independence. Your social connections keep you engaged, fulfilled, and emotionally nourished. Your sense of purpose gives your life meaning and direction, no matter your age. Your emotional resilience makes you stronger in the face of life's inevitable hardships. And your ability to adapt allows you to thrive, even when things don't go as planned. If you have these 6 pillars in place, you will never feel completely alone. You will never have to beg for support, feel powerless in tough times, or wait for someone else to come and save you. Because true stability doesn't come from hoping others will always be there for you. It comes from knowing that you are ready to stand strong, no matter what life brings. If this message resonates with you, type 6 in the comments below to let me know you're following along. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an inspiring video.